Welcome to Coffee Break with Rachel Vigil, taking a daily look at the biggest stories in Denver sports and interacting live with you, the Coffee Break fam. So sit back, relax, grab a cup of joe, and enjoy your coffee break. Here's your host, Rachel Vigil.
Let's freaking go, everybody. Welcome into a Thursday edition of Coffee Break, because of course we have to talk about the Colorado Avalanche. When I thought that they were all done, I just thought it's going to be over. They have no heart left in the room, losing Valnichushkin. And I feel like I've had more time to process that entire situation a little bit, which we can dive into. But the Av Stars finally returned. Hallelujah. We've been waiting for Cale Makar to emerge. We have been waiting for Nathan MacKinnon. Mikko Rantanen, kind of there, but it's been a big question of like, where the heck are you? They finally show up last night in the biggest game of the year, facing elimination in Dallas, and they're able to get the win. It was such a fun game to watch, but they still started off super slow to begin with. And I'm sitting there thinking, crap, here we go again. I feel like everybody, even on Twitter, people were like, can they just score first, please? Now, I will say Dallas got pretty lucky on that first goal. So I wasn't like, okay, they're out of it. Like, they were playing really tough hockey, and you could tell. I will say also, though, at the beginning, I was like, they're going to exhaust themselves. Like, you could tell they were just going 110 miles per hour, which you have to do in an elimination game. Like, you have to give it literally everything you have. I mean, Dallas even knew that they were going to get the best out of the Avalanche. And why it took so long for this to happen, I don't know. And I'm going to give Will Peterson some credit here, because he told me, he's like, Rachel, it happened. The Valnichushkin stuff happened so close to the game starting. And I'm like, but these guys are professionals. Like, you got to be able to go and figure it out. This has to be enough motivation for you to step out of the line and to be able to look forward and say, we have to win this game at home. And they obviously didn't. They end up losing game 4, just terrible. And then they show up last night. And I'm sitting here thinking, I'm like, they are going 110 miles an hour. They are going to exhaust themselves. They are going to run out of speed, because Dallas wasn't going 110. It was intense hockey, don't get me wrong, but they were not going 110 miles per hour. And it just worked. They never stopped. I was so impressed with everybody that came down to it. I loved at the end that they were high-fiving and giving fist bumps to Georgie. Like, it just felt like this team was whole again, even though they were missing one of their top players. And I don't know if there was some sort of team meeting that they had where they all sat down and they said, you know what? He's not here anymore. Like, we got to do this. If we are Nathan MacKinnon, we are Cale Makar. Getting Devon Toews was obviously massive for the defensive side of things. So it was great to see him be out there. And then Mikko Rantanen. Let's just talk about him, because he's been pretty quiet. I don't want to say struggled, but he's been very quiet. He obviously gets hit, gets a bloody nose. They go on the power play, and they're able to score. And I'm like, okay. So Mikko, in some roundabout way, despite getting hurt, I mean, he was like the second assist on the goal. But I was like, thank goodness. But you know what the difference really was for this Colorado Avalanche team? After going 0 for 8 on power plays in the previous 3 games. You heard me say that right. 0 for 8. That's disgusting if we're talking about hockey. The Avs scored 2 power play goals last night. They finally were able to put together a really solid power play, just stance. And thank goodness that they were able to. That made the difference. That's when you're supposed to put up so many points. So I was really, really good to see. I mean, we go back to game 3 where they only score 1 point, and everybody is just like, what on earth is going on with this Avalanche team? They can put up 7 goals a night, and they have the depth to do it. So that was the difference right there. I was so happy to be able to see it. Makar obviously gets his power play goal, which is great. And also that goal was beautiful. It was literally like a 50-foot wrister, and it was just absolutely stunning. Nathan MacKinnon gets on the board, which was really fun to see too. So, but also let me just point out this part too. The Dallas chokes pretty hard. I'm not going to lie to you. So Dallas, obviously you're like, we go back and we look at some of the regular season that Dallas has had. Up 3-0 in November. Avs go on to win 6-3. Okay, that looks pretty good. Up 3-1 in January. They go on to win 5-4. That's not bad either. And then game 1, they were up 3-0. They obviously go on to win 3-6. Could this possibly be like the biggest choke job, that Dallas goes up 3-1 in the series and somehow the Avs are able to come back and win it all? Now, I say this, but you have to take it literally one shift at a time. And that's what this Avalanche team has continued to talk about, taking it one shift at a time, one game at a time. You're not looking for a game 7. You're looking to Friday night, 8 p.m., another late tip. I'm like, can we please stop with these late tips here? Rachel can't handle it anymore. But one shift, one period, one game at a time. And this Avalanche team is the better team. I'm sorry. I know Dallas had a higher or a better record this year, but the Avs are a better team. You have Nathan McKinnon. You have Cale Makar. You have Mikko Rantanen. You have Devon Toews. You have guys like Casey Middlestat, who's going out there and fighting with everything. You have Zach Parise, who's already said that this is going to be the last season he plays in an NHL uniform. There are guys on this team that care, and this Avalanche team can do it. The stars just have to keep shining bright. So I'm really excited for Friday night. I wasn't sure if I was going to share this like little tidbit into the media world, but I feel like I should, because when we knew that the Avs were going to win the cup run, it was like, okay, we need to go all in on the Avalanche. Like, we know that they are the team that can absolutely do it. And you're never rooting for a team to lose. But when the Nuggets lost to the Warriors in the first round, it was kind of like, okay, like it saved us a little bit, right? We knew that they weren't going to go all of the way. So it was like, okay, you can lose early, Nuggets, and we'll focus strictly on the Avs. Last year, nobody expected what happened in Seattle, of course, but no, Val Nichushkin just doing Val Nichushkin things. We were all in on the Nuggets. We knew that the Nuggets could go out there and win a championship. So it was like, okay, well, I guess if the Avs get like beat, oh, well, it is what it is. We'll look ahead. This year, both teams could win it. Both teams can do it. And you never want to, like I said, we never are rooting for a team to lose, but there is a sense of like, well, if this team loses, it's a little bit less work and we can focus all on one team. This year is so different. I feel like I am all in on both of these teams. And I'm like, how fun would it be to have two parades here in the Mile High City, one Avs and one Nugget? And we don't see that very often where you have two championship teams. Like, it could actually happen with these two teams. It really could. And so I'm all in. Even though I am exhausted, I am getting hardly any sleep. I'm up till 8 o'clock or till midnight, covering games on a Friday night. Then on Sundays, I'm looking at 2 game 7s. Like, the media is tired. We are all tired, but it's so fun. And so you're just kind of sucking it up at this point. I mean, I have even friends and family who are texting me and they're like, I'm exhausted and I went to bed at 11 o'clock and I wasn't even at the arena. And it's like, and I didn't have the game the night before either, like we saw earlier this week. So I know you guys, the fans, are also tired, but we're tired too. But it's like, this is the year to do it. You have all of the superstars out there. Go into championships. We can all be tired in July. We'll all take some weeks off in July, but this is actually the opportunity. So tonight we have a massive game, but I need the Denver Nuggets. I'm begging them. Please, 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 please don't make me have to do a game 7 on Sunday back at Ball Arena. I am begging them. Please do not make me have to work that game. It would be crazy. It would be insane. It would be unbelievably wild, but just finish it off in Minnesota. Let's just be done with the Timberwolves. Look ahead to whoever they're going to play next. Obviously, that series is still undecided right now. Just look ahead to it. And the Nuggets, it seems like they have the Timberwolves figured out, or maybe the Timberwolves didn't realize who the Denver Nuggets were at a certain point and realized the what they could overcome. I don't know. I don't know what happened, but it is just crazy the actual turnaround that we saw. Like, and not only did they do it in a sense of like, okay, they got beat the crap out of in game 2 and obviously almost a 30-point loss. That's one thing. Like, they got embarrassed on the national stage. All the national media was coming at the Denver Nuggets and they're saying like, unbelievable. This is embarrassing. Stephen A. Smith just yesterday saying that he's going to have to owe his apologies if they end up winning this series. Yeah. We all hear the talk. Don't worry. But the fact that Michael Malone pushed the right buttons for the Nuggets to beat the Timberwolves in Minnesota the way they did both times. It wasn't close 1 point, 2 point, 5 point losses. No. They won by 10 or more points. Like, it was a beatdown in both games 3 and games 4. Complete beatdown. And I was thinking, okay, game 5, T-Wolves are going to come back to the Mile High City. They're going to be like, all right, we're coming back for you. And it was kind of the exact same thing. The Nuggets still just had a bit of a beatdown on them. So I'm going to be fascinated to see tonight when we're back in Minnesota, you've got all of the T-Wolves fans out there, what their energy is actually going to look like. Is it that we have nothing to figure out? I mean, Rudy Gobert even said, I defended Jokic pretty well. I'm kind of summarizing what he said, but I defended him pretty well, and he still made the shots. And we did not give, and we have not given Nikola Jokic enough flowers or roses after his performance earlier this week. He is absolutely insane. In the three-point era, there have been 65 playoff performances with 35 points and 0 turnovers, and 36 playoff performances with 11 assists and 0 turnovers. There has never been a player who has been able to do it until Nikola Jokic did. 41 minutes, 40 points, 15 of 22 from the field, 7 rebounds, 13 assists, and yes, 0 turnovers. Absolutely insane. Nikola Jokic deserves all of his roses, and he is leading in the 2020s in playoff rebounds, playoff assists, playoff double-doubles, and playoff triple-doubles. Are you freaking kidding me, Nikola Jokic? We're so lucky to be able to watch him here in the Mile High City. It's unreal to see, and it's so much fun, too, to be able to lead in all of those categories and to have a guy who really doesn't care about getting the Michael Jordan MVP trophy. He really doesn't. He wants to go out there. I mean, even in his press conference, we all remember him saying, I had a lot more fun last year when we won the championship and we didn't do it. Like, that's just Nikola Jokic for you. And it has not been talked about. I know yesterday morning, everybody was kind of like chiming in and being like, oh my gosh, Nikola Jokic this. Do we realize the greatness that we actually got to see the other night on TV or at the game, whichever one you were watching at? Nikola Jokic is literally the GOAT. I'm sorry. I wish we could have seen, throw Nikola Jokic back a few years, see him go with MJ and Shaq and Charles Barkley, all of those guys. It would be so much fun to see it. But of course, the game has also drastically changed. We can't ignore that front. So I'm excited for tonight's game. I'm excited. It's an early tip, 6:30 p.m. Mountain Time here in the Mile High City. I hope it's the exact same thing, though. I hope the Nuggets come out and just say, you know what? We're the Denver Nuggets. We are the defending champions. We're going to put a 20-point beatdown on you yet again and remind everybody in the league who they're getting ready to face. So I hope that happens. It's going to be really fun tomorrow, and hopefully we're talking about a Nuggets win as well. Let me know in the comments, who do you think leads tonight? Because MPJ's been a little quiet. MPJ in the Lakers series was fantastic. Early on, fantastic. It's been a little quiet as of recently. Obviously, Jokic is out here shining. Jamal's having his moments as well. Aaron Gordon, obviously, I think it was game 3, just an absolute stud. But he's been a little quiet. I'm looking for a big game from MPJ tonight. Fingers crossed for that one. Hopefully I can be right. I did want to get into a little bit, though, on the Broncos schedule, you guys, because we all know I did my schedule predictions yesterday, and here it is. Look at how many I actually got right. And I'm kind of giving myself just a little bit of a pass on this one because, listen, I said December 22nd at LA. They're still playing LA that week, so I'm giving myself 5. And also, to be fair, I already knew the Seattle one because it came out before I finalized my thing, and so that leak came out. But I got Pittsburgh. I knew they were going to do that game super early. I got the Jets, and then I also got Las Vegas. So I'm going to give myself actually a B on this because it's pretty dang good. I feel like this schedule, you never know what can absolutely happen. But let's go week by week because there are some games that I'm really excited about as well. Okay, we'll start week 13. I'm going to be very interested to see how the Browns look this year. I'm kind of paying a little bit of attention to them and how that's going to fly. And it comes right before the bye week. But the bye week being week 14, that doesn't make any sense to me. Usually I feel like it's week 8, 9, or 10. I'm like, a week 14 bye. It must show you that the league and the schedule makers just really don't think anything of the Broncos. I saw some people trying to change it around and be like, well, they're pushing for a playoff performance, then maybe, just maybe, that this would be great for them in week 14. I'm like, I don't know about that. I feel like it's a bit of a stretch of a different thing. So week 14, a bye just feels so late. Literally in December, we're talking about a bye week. I don't know. It just feels really weird. But I am going to be interested, of course, to see, like I said, the Browns and what they actually look like this year. And then you got Kirk Cousins and the Falcons too. And then actually, I think week 12, now that I'm thinking about it, was a group text. The F1 race is going to be in Vegas when the Broncos are in Vegas. So that will be actually really interesting. If you're a big F1 fan and football fan, you might want to save a little bit of your dough and get ready to head out there the week of Thanksgiving. So that could be very interesting. All right, moving on. Next couple of weeks we got on this board. Let's see. Oh, we'll start here. Of course. Of course we have to start here. And first, we're just starting week 2 too. Russell Wilson returns back to Denver. I think it was Mace yesterday who asked me, like, what kind of ovation do you think he's going to get? Is he going to get boos? Is he going to get cheers? Like, what is that going to look like? I think it's going to be just kind of a muted point. I don't think people hate Russell Wilson. I don't think that he's loved here in the Mile High City. It was just a very bad divorce that ended up having to go down. Like, it just didn't work. The two sides just mutually needed to go away. Even though Russell Wilson went on the Brandon Marshall podcast, and I was like, this isn't really a good look for you. I know you kind of want to clear your name of some things. Sean Payton's obviously had a few lattes here and there. Overall, I just feel like everyone was just done with the whole situation. So I'm not sure what that's going to look like. I just feel like it's going to be very mute. Maybe if the Steelers, actually are winning, then it could be a little bit more. I wouldn't be surprised, honestly, if the Broncos lose, especially if Bo Nix, you have a rookie quarterback out there. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if the Broncos lose to the Steelers in week 2. I really won't. And then the Seahawks, I think that's going to be also another interesting game. No matter what, week 1s are always tough. So, I don't really have that one necessarily circled, besides the fact that it's week 1 and Broncos football is going to be back, which will be really fun. But otherwise, I'm not thinking too much about it. Week 2's the home opener is going to be really where I'm like, let's go. I can't wait for that game. All right, moving on. Next couple of weeks we got on here. I'm actually excited for this one. As the Broncos will travel out to Tampa Bay. Baker Mayfield. I'm a huge fan of Baker Mayfield. Even when he went to LA and he had that Thursday night game, I became a huge Baker Mayfield fan, I guess I should say. I think it'll be tough. It's going to be really hot. I know Andrew Mason and I talked a little bit about that yesterday. It's going to be a really tough game. And then the Jets game. Let me know in the comments how you feel. I think it's no longer really a thing. I don't think people really care. Everybody realized that Nathaniel Hackett was just totally a joke. I don't think people really care about it anymore. Maybe with some of his comments he's made, but the fact that that the Jets were trying to get rid of him, it's all going to be Aaron Rodgers. People are excited to see Aaron Rodgers. So I just am I don't really care about the whole Nathaniel Hackett thing anymore. I care more about the Russell Wilson one than I do about Nathaniel Hackett. And if obviously the fact that the Jets won when they were here last season and Russell Wilson was still here, that was enough of a pinpoint. But again, I just kind of look at the schedule and I'm like, we can definitely have fun with the storyline, but it's not one that I'm circling, especially because Aaron Rodgers back. And so they're probably going to win that game. Don't hate me for this. Of course, you got week 5, you got the Raiders. Week 6, you got the Chargers. Moving on to the next couple of weeks. Of course, it's just so much fun. Thursday night football. I am actually going to, you guys, I'm so stoked about this. I will be coming back from my honeymoon for this game. I will land back in the States just hours before kickoff. And we're coming back. We're going to be landing in New York City. I'm going to be running to a sports bar to get ready to watch Thursday night football. I'm so excited about it. I think it's going to be really interesting. I know Mace says that he thinks that Sean Payton's going to get this huge standing ovation. I think that there's going to be a little people that are hurt that he left. So I could see some boos possibly happen. Hopefully they have the offense figured out. And especially I could see some boos if they're winning, if the Broncos are winning. So I'm really, really excited for that matchup. I think that this entire 4 games is actually really going to be fun. It's going to be some crazy weeks. Carolina, I'm excited to see what Bryce Young is going to do. Be able to see Bo Nix versus Bryce Young, a quarterback that's been in the league for 1 year, and then a rookie be able to face battle off. That's going to be a cool game to see, especially here at home. And then you got weeks 8 or 9 and 10. That's just going to be brutal when you go from the Ravens to Chiefs back to back. I'm yikes, that's definitely not a fun one. I think we have one more. I'm pretty sure. I'm tired today, you guys. You're right. We do have one more. How could I forget the Bengals? I don't know why they decided to put the Bengals so far down on the schedule. I thought they'd be more of the middle of the pack or the top of the schedule. But you got the Colts, you got the Chargers, you got the Bengals, you got the Chiefs. I hate ending with the Chiefs on the last game. I wish it was the Raiders or the Chargers. I'm bummed about it's going to be the Chiefs, mostly because I just don't want to give them an easy win in case they need that easy win for some sort of standing or anything of that nature. But that's just me being a little bit of a Chiefs hater. So Broncos country definitely gets it. But there are some good games on the schedule that I'm very excited about. Of course, the home opener's got to be the top one for me. And then, yeah, I am excited about some of the other ones too. So I know that denversports.com has lots of articles on the schedule. So check it out. If you're planning any road trips to go, definitely check it out. I know there's a good article for different things that you could see and do and try and catch all of these games as well. So there's going to be plenty of good stuff. I'm excited for tonight's Nuggets game. I'm excited for tomorrow night's Avalanche game. There's just so much going on right now, everybody. Buckle up because it is definitely a great time of the year. And then I will be back tomorrow, 10 a.m. for another episode of Denver Sports Daily, 12 p.m. for an episode of Coffee Break. Thank you guys so much for always spending just a little bit of extra time with me on your weekdays. I really do appreciate it. Thank you for giving me a voice to be able to sit down and just chat sports with you guys. I love this industry. I love being able to cover these teams, and we're so lucky that we have so many good teams right now in Maha City. So thank you for always just allowing me and helping me out with these solo episodes and everything else that you do. So I appreciate you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow. Get back to work.